Now, I didn't really want to take the time and make this video just because of the simple fact I don't really want anything to do with this. However, a lot of my friends in the Phantom Forces community have made plenty of videos discussing this. And as you guys know, some of my earliest followers were from Phantom Forces. In fact, my entire career has been built on Phantom Forces' back. And Phantom Forces to this day is still my favorite Roblox game ever made. And because of that, I wasn't going to make a video about it. But after a lot of pandering and watching what has been going on inside the Phantom Forces community, I do think, as at one point a figurehead of Phantom Forces, I have a moral obligation to tell you guys what is going on. Now, if you want a detailed explanation, Strider's 2 videos on it do an amazing job of telling what's going on. However, if you don't want to watch that, I'll just give a simple TLDR. Phantom Forces has a repeated problem of predators preying on children. Now, it's important to note when I say that, I don't mean the developers themselves, or at least current developers, like Axis Angle, Lido, and Shay. However, what I am saying is that these individuals have either been so out of touch with their community and so ignorant of what's going on that they had no idea that this was happening, which once again, you'd have to literally be living under a rock to not know what's going on inside your own community, or they knew about the problem and did nothing to address the problem and were perfectly fine with the problem continuing. And to be honest with you, it's probably the latter. And after watching this entire situation unfold and being inside the stylist content creator chat while the developers were actively talking in there about the situation, I have full confidence to say that these people genuinely just do not care. Like, genuinely talking to these people is like talking to a brick wall. Or I feel like talking to them is so impossible because they're either so full of themselves or will argue on things like random semantics that have nothing to do with the situation. And never once while talking to them did I ever hear a good solution out of their mouths about what they could do about the situation. Instead, all I heard was the craziest glaze of all time from their non-paid staff team. Like, seriously, where do you get these people to defend you this hard when you're so much in the wrong? It's not even like they're paying them anymore. They took away like all of their store credits anyway too, so there's actually zero benefit from them defending this hard. And some of the people defending them were also a part of the problem. I kid you not, when we were having this conversation, or I guess argument, about Discord safety and how to run a Discord server, I kid you not, a stylist staff member told everybody to stop talking so they could read and catch up with everybody, and then proceeded to mute Snowy for talking in the stylist CC chat. Like, the chat's not made for you, buddy. How can you not scroll up and read as a Discord moderator? I don't get it. It's your job. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that's the state of the Roblox stylist staff. That is the state of it. They are so bad, so out of touch with running a community that they have to ask you to stop talking so they can read Discord messages. And even when they read the Discord messages, they still will not respond to any of the allegations and just deny. Like, they think they're United Healthcare, bro. Let me give you an example of this. So we were arguing about Discord safety and child safety, and I brought up the point that there is still a staff member inside their Discord under a different alias that had furry fetish art on their banner that anybody could see on a Roblox server. And I don't know if they were trying to catch me on a bluff or something, like it was poker, but they asked me who it was, and I proceeded to at them because they're in the chat. They can see it. I know they can see it. And then you want to guess what their response was? There was no response. There was no response. It was, all right, let's move to the next thing. And I brought it back up again, and they ignored it twice. There was no pushback whatsoever that this person was this person. Not a word from anybody. And to this day, I still don't think they have a response to it because Strider featured them in the video that he made. And if you're wondering, the person was named Jess. And like I said, I pinged it for everybody to see and nothing happened. In fact, I had content creators telling me to maybe chill out in the chat because they feared I would get banned because I was calling out the staff in the server. They told me by doing that, I may or may not have a target on my back, but thankfully, I don't think they care enough about me because I'm not a Phantom Forces guy anymore. Thankfully. And to really hammer in the point that these people do not care whatsoever unless it hurts their bottom line. I actually have a personal experience of being threatened, or I guess, I don't know, intimidated for a video idea I had. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, at one point I had this really ambitious idea about making a dedicated Phantom Forces iceberg talking about every single community event that has ever happened inside the Phantom Forces community. And believe me, there is a lot of stuff. In fact, I only did the first 3 layers of it, which just scratched the surface, and the video was already at 40 minutes. Now, I had spent roughly, I want to say, a month working on this before I ended up scrapping it, but it was still, to this day, my most ambitious video I ever wanted to do, and also the longest thing I've ever wrote. Like, seriously, I was making bullet points for every single one of these entries into the iceberg, and I think, if my memory serves me correct, the bullet points alone were 3,000 words. And I remember talking about doing the Phantom Forces iceberg inside the content creator chat because I thought it was a great idea, and I was already on thin ice for something relating to live streaming, I'm pretty sure, with stylists, because I got in an argument with them about, like, the family friendliness of doing stylist streams or something. So I was already kind of, like, on their list at the time. And then when I mentioned doing the Phantom Forces iceberg idea, I forgot which developer it was and on what account it was, because when I was looking through all the main accounts of the developers, I couldn't find the message itself. However, I still have the group chat that was made from it. And the reason for the group chat was so that the developers could vet every single thing on the list, essentially making it so that it doesn't make them look bad. And I agreed to this because, 1, I wanted to make the video, and 2, because Phantom Forces is my livelihood. They literally sent me a message off rip like, are you trying to get your CC removed by doing this video? Like, what am I supposed to do in that situation? And around the time I was making this video, I was also graduating from high school. This was my game plan after high school. And Phantom Forces, low-key, was my career at the time. And I admit, I caved. I should have had more of a spine at the time, and I should have just made the video outright with my own research from the community and not the people that are controlling the information. After working on it for around a month, I felt like the passion was just gone out of it because most of it is not really mine anymore if every single point has to be vetted by, you know, the stylist people. And I don't have a lot of regrets when it comes to doing YouTube stuff, but honestly, I still think about that Phantom Forces iceberg a lot to this day. And now, since Phantom Forces is forever tainted, I don't think I'll ever complete the iceberg, just because most of the stuff now is, 1, kind of out of date, and 2, a lot of it was just focused on the game itself with, like, small nuances and secrets. But I feel like a Phantom Forces iceberg now would be a lot less about the game and more about the people who are running it. And thankfully, shortly afterwards, I did end up quitting Phantom Forces content just because I had literally done everything you could have done for Phantom Forces. But I can't help but feel bad for the players and the YouTubers that still largely had their entire fan base surrounded by Phantom Forces. And now, because of the actions or the lack thereof from the developers, not only do the players get to lose out on one of the best games ever made, the YouTubers also lose essentially their jobs. Nobody wins in this situation. There is not a single winning thing. The damage has been done, and it doesn't look like the developers are going to change anything with how things are ran. And if I was Lito in this situation, I would low-key probably just fire everybody and start fresh. Because at this point, nobody's going to be happy until everybody's gone. All the people really want is a safe place to enjoy one of their favorite games. And at the end of the day, it is a Roblox server. It is not a dating server. It is not a personal server. It is a server meant for the Roblox community. And it is very clear your staff members and your developers around you probably shouldn't be handling stuff around children, especially when some of your staff have crop pictures of NSFW things. It genuinely is not that hard to find staff that are just normal people. Like, I can't stress how unprecedented this server really is, because it's like the equivalent of Subway hiring like 4 Jared Fogels in a row. Like, it's insanity on how we got here. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I wanted to say, honestly. And just like all the other Phantom Forces YouTubers, I will also no longer ever be making another Phantom Forces video unless Phantom Forces is either bought out or until the entire server is gutted with all of its staff. And I would like to give one last thank you to Stylist Studios for absolutely destroying my childhood. Goodbye.